Shiny. Shiny, shiny. Hey, Sandile. Petu. Hillary. Queen G. So yeah, man. We're going to be doing something today. The interviews are back. So it's time for me to relax. Are you well, Hillary? Petucho, I see that you're here. Thank you for the rose already. Hi, Ntefeng. I see that you're on board already. Hello to everybody that is here. Let's just see. Already, I like it. I'm not complaining though. Thank you very much. So there's two things that I'm gonna need to talk about quickly before I can let Ntefeng to come on board. Probably she's gonna be coming on board around about like 2:10. Probably just calibrating some few things, getting the network ready, welcoming the people. But there are two issues that I need to talk about. I want to talk about sex and I want to talk about the moon. I know I'm biting too much that I could chew in 10 minutes, but I'll try. One, there are two ways on how sex plays part in our life. There's a reproduction part and there's a regenerative part. Reproduction part is this one of passing down the genes. The reason why we sleep with, it's because we want to pass on the genes. But there's another twist when it comes to sex or your reproduction organs. They can also be used for regenerative reasons. There's this particular thing that they call the semen retention. The people that are normally a lot, exchanging the fluids, people that have a lot of piece jobs. People that have a lot of piece jobs, the Bible goes on to say, be careful that you don't squander your seed. Squandering your seed is exchanging the fluids of the body without control. People that are called, what do they call it? When you're busy playing around, man. That. Dumela, hi, Auxilia Petucho. So you have to be very careful that there's going to come a time in your life, particularly on this journey, whereby you're going to have a whole lot amount of detestation towards sex. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's going to come a time whereby you don't feel like spilling your fluids anymore. You don't feel like exchanging your fluids anymore. Because those fluids, if you retain them, they form part of what we call cerebral spinal fluid, which lies at the back of your spinal shandies. You know that thing where the kundalini then rises. But now, the challenge is if you squander the seed, if you exchange a whole lot amount of sexual fluids, you reduce the potency of that seed. That's a regenerative part of sex. If you didn't get that, you're probably going to have to go check out the video that I did once. Put it on YouTube. It's called Sex Regenerative Part. Hey, Voyo, hey, you find us already on the reason being at 10:00, I'm going to be having Ntefeng on, and I don't want to disturb. 2, Voyo, I know that Petucho. Can somebody else please tell me how's the network? You don't know how excited I am about this episode. This network can do this to us. Can somebody please tell me if it's stable? By the way, don't see me like this. I'm just way too excited about the person that we're going to be having that we're going to be interviewing. We're going to be interviewing Ntefeng. She once graced us with her presence. This is the second part. So the interview and the network must work with me. Let's see. I'm waiting for you guys. Molweni unjani Vuyo? I'll wait for you guys to tell me how's my network, if you can hear me. I spoke briefly about sex as a regenerative part. Looks okay, cool. But why am I a bit lurgy, The last time when we had this interview, Ntefeng broke the whole internet. We couldn't work. It it bounced to the whole 55 minutes. So today, I know that it's going to be working with us. But nonetheless, over and above that, I need to say this. I spoke about it briefly yesterday. The last 2 weeks have been a nightmare on a third dimension density, that is the world of matter, the grosser part of us. The reason being, the body is going through what we call an energy shift. But now, that is if you're sensitive to it. If you're not, you'll probably think, no, my moods and my this and my that. It's not only something that has to do with your external things, but it also has to do with your internal progress. So celestially, you are busy changing up your body, making it sure, or maybe, systemizing it, calibrating it so that it can be able to be the host to the divine self. So there's a lot that has been happening. Some of the things have been going haywire. Some people have been feeling like they want to kill people. Don't. Some people have been very irritable. A lot of people have been breaking things. You probably broke some of your devices at home inadvertently. Some of the things started falling apart. Please note, it's not wholly you. Partly it's you, but basically it's all about the energy shifts. Voyo, I know that you asked me about the moon. You asked it in the WhatsApp group. I'm just going to briefly touch on it before I can get Ntefeng to be on, because Ntefeng's going to be hopping on at 2:10. She's going to be taking it away. She's got so many things to tell us. And let's please show her love. It's not easy being vulnerable. It's not easy sharing your story. Let's show her some love. She's going to be coming on the platform. Share your likes. I'll try to interact with the comments. I'll try to type as much as I can as well. And you can ask her questions in the whole process. I will then obviously administer the questions to her, because I would like her to just be like a bullet in a gun. I don't want her to be checking up the comments. I don't want her to get worried about the numbers. So you guys, you can share the whole thing. You can like it. You can comment on it. You can send beautiful energies. Oh yeah, you can gift as well. And if, by the way, you want to be part of the story sharing, I know that next week, there's somebody that we have already for next week. We're only having these things once a week this time, on a Wednesday. That explains it. Oh! Ziyakhala. So, that's what we've been going through. Now, Voya, I know that you asked about the moon. I'm probably going to do it too much of an injustice, but this is what I'm going to say. The moon, it's of lunar nature. The moon, it's of feminine nature. When the moon is out there, it doesn't necessarily make you bad. It doesn't necessarily make you feel under the weather. The moon, just like water, extracts your true you. So if you have underlying issues, if you have underlying grudges, if you have underlying negativity, the moon magnifies it. The moon doesn't do much to you, but just to put everything under the light. It's like when you walk into the room that is dark and you switch on the light. That's what the moon does. The moon also, like I said, it's of a feminine nature. It brings you close to those things that are internal of you or internal in you. The moon as well, it's a purifier. There's a lot that I can say about the moon, but you don't have to blame the moon. The moon is just doing its work. It's also called the lunar calendar. Remember, we have two calendars, right? We got the solar calendar and we got the lunar calendar. The moon, back in the days, remember when women, somehow women were tied so much with the moon that if somebody was going to the menses, they were saying, we lady khwedi. So now the lunar also comes from, or the whole lunar also goes to this thing that we say lunatic. So now lunatic is somebody that is crazy. So the moon, in a way, the femininity part of it takes out everything that has been hidden in you. If you are a pleasurable person, if you are a happy person, when the moon is up, you magnify it. But if you are a horrible person and the moon is up, you magnify it. But a whole lot amount of our horribleness, it's on a subconscious mind. It's on a subconscious realm. It's on the unseen realm. So now the moon takes out the true you. The moon didn't do anything wrong though. It's just lighting up on either your goodness or your bullshittiness. So, Ntefeng, we're ready for you. Let me just get my stuff right. It looks okay. So for the people that have been sending up the likes, we're going to be having Ntefeng. She's going to be sharing about the loss. Part one of her interview, it's on YouTube. How do you get it? Or how do you get to my YouTube? You follow me. That is if you haven't already. Then you go to my bio. My bio has a picture. It has a number. That's my cell phone number there. If you have it, don't abuse me. That's my cell phone number there. And just below, there's a link. If you click that link, it will send you straight to YouTube. By the way, for the people that have seen out the interviews, thank you very much. For the people that have subscribed or forgot to subscribe to the channel, please do so. Because going forward, most of the interviews, we're going to be migrating them to YouTube. Mainly because, you know, it can be able, on YouTube, somebody can be here and somebody can be there. But now on TikTok, you know, it's a bit of a slanty kind of type of thingy. And if you've been there, you commented on it and I haven't replied, sorry. You know the whole thing of technologically what. But nonetheless, I'm trying to actually get to be in touch with that channel. But until then, let me see. Moriski, I see that you're here. And Tats, I see that you're here. Thank you very much, Moriski, for the likes. I'm a little bit slanty, I'm a bit excited. The reason being, we finalized the details about the retreat, the 1st of July. Something is coming your way. The prices have been set. The accommodation is actually half booked. All that is left from us, obviously, is to show the intention with the logistics, the payments, and the blah, blah, blah. If you don't know what is it that I'm talking about, we're having an energy liberation retreat on the 1st of July. This will be the second one. The first one, we had it in March. It was in Kwakwa. So this one, we're going to be having it in Paris. Paris. Kilabogile, thank you very much. I see that you shared the live. So Ntefeng, if you're here, we are waiting for you. How we normally do it, you send me the invite, then I accept it, then we have you on board. And Voyo, apologies for, yeah, can you believe it? We're having it in Paris. We're going to be having it somewhere. The venue, we're just finalizing some of the few logistics, but moderator is busy doing it. I think most probably before the end of the day, we're going to be knowing more information. So, Voyo, on your issue of the moon, I'm going to have to dedicate a pure day or a pure week just to break it down, because I know I didn't do it much of a justice. But with the bit that I gave you, I'll also try to send you some of the few books so that you can acquaint yourself with it. But you have to understand one thing. Let me not, because now I'm going to go 14. I see that Mzwaki is here. Claudia, Ntefeng, I can actually hear you. Yeah!
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Can't complain. I can't complain at all.
Complaining is not going to help anyway.
Old people things here. This is what I do.
Here's a like for you, just for that.
That's what I do to just calm myself down. You know, that's my therapeutic thing.
Amazing.
Let me fix my crown.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, no, actually, it looks like today you well behaved energetically as well, because it looks like the internet is playing along with us.
Better.
Vibrations.
It better play. I mean, really.
Okay, let me do this quickly then, Ntefeng, while you're getting yourself ready. Just a few seconds. Welcome, everybody. Ntefeng is already with us. So she's going to be talking about her loss, the journey through, or how did she stay afloat during the loss, which pretty much all of us are going through. So she's going to be telling us, it's actually the second part. She once graced us with her presence the first time, but we felt, I mean, like really now, she didn't actually finish. It's not like the story can ever be finished, but we thought, you know what, let's invite her back again so that she can expound further. But there's something which is very interesting, and you're not going to get off the platform before you start talking about that. Tell me about your dad.
What do you want to know about the old man? The old man is amazing. Yeah, I think we can start off with that, since that's where we actually ended last time. Sure, that guy is amazing, 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 amazing. I honestly, I don't, I literally lose words if I have to explain how amazing my dad is. I mean, this is somebody, and I think the other time we are talking about just the power of, the power of your mind, man. And and I'm saying this man has a very interesting story. Interesting enough, my dad was a teacher. He was one of those teachers, but kana king college, the teachers college.
Tia.
Yeah, yes, he. That's he's a group. Yeah, yeah. Those teachers. He went into being a technician at some point. But the interesting story is that he had a growing up. My dad had a shop. He was fixing TVs. Decoders, study Mnet at the time, and
When was the last time I heard that?
exactly. And I remember in 1990, was it 90? Yes, in 1990, his store got there was the riot go Everton, because his store was in Koma China go Everton, and there was the riots, and then one morning he goes to the store has been vandalized, and long story short, this man came back home. I remember my younger sister had just been born. She was literally a couple of days old. He came back home and he said to my mom, "I'm going back to school." Literally on the same day. He's like, "You know what? Fuck this. I'm going back to school." My mom's like, "Are you crazy? Where are you going? What do you mean?" And at the time, he was a dad of 3 kids, or 4 kids already, a toddler and a couple of teenagers, married. I think he was 38, 39, if I'm not mistaken. And this guy went to school full time to study medicine at the age of 38, 39. That's I promise you. That is why I'm saying I literally always take inspiration from my dad. His story is so amazing. And more than anything, I mean, right now you think to yourself, yo, I'm too old, I can't do these things. Here's a man who was 38, with 4 kids already, went to school full time. Literally, he dropped everything. He went to vets, studied, he did his BSc, finished it, aced it. By the way, he aced the BSc, and then he went on to go to Medinsa, finished off his MBCSB full time, like literally full time. He left everything. He went on, and this guy, I've never seen such. If they say somebody can give in, my dad gave in to his studies. My dad would study day, night, come back home, carry holidays. This guy, he goes out in the morning, goes sit outside by the sun, he's studying. Literally, he lived So I think for me, it really shows that anything that you really put your mind to, it's really possible. And I think we're talking about the power of your mind. And like I said to you, he came back. He obviously did his interns and all of that, started his practice and but in the midst of all of that, and I think more than anything, the one thing that I've learned from my dad, or the one thing that I think I'm grateful for, is that because of him, I'm a reader. My dad reads. My dad reads like 3, 4 books at a time. He'll finish 2 books in one day. Literally, that's how bad he is.
He's my kind of type of dude.
Yes, no, no, no. You and him, you guys would just literally. And I think even with me and him, we've got this special bond because I also just took that after him. I read a lot, and this is one of the things that I was saying on our past interview, to say one of the things that helped me out when I was going through everything that life kicked me with was I would draw strength in, and reading. And I like what you always say, to say, don't read what you're comfortable with. Don't read what you subscribe to, read anything and everything, because you never know when you're going to need information that your pastor will never share with you,
There you go
and
again to the poor pastors.
but it's a truth, and I think through his reading, his interest in just reading, he was able to, like I said to you, he practices what we call preventative medicine, for lack of a better word, or for people that don't understand what that is he's a huge advocate of saying your body can heal itself. Um, that's exactly what we're talking about every day in here, to say there is nothing that you're going to find elsewhere. You are going to find all the answers within you, within your body, within your mind. Your mind has all the power in the world that you can ever think of. And I think we're talking about how we tend to underestimate the power of our mind. And look, I always say to people, be easy on yourself, because some of these things in fact, most of we were never taught. Even our families don't talk about these things. You hardly know how good you are until you really go through these things that life throws into us. And I think for me, um, with all the losses that I've gone through, and like I said previously, I mean, just the 2-3 things that I've shared with you that I've lost on our previous interview, that is nothing compared to the losses that kept on coming back. Like it was as if I remember I got to a point where, and this is when I really was able to redeem myself from all of these things, because I mean, as strong as a person can be, it's not fun to go through lessons, to go through pain, to go through challenges. It's not fun at all. It doesn't matter how strong you are; these things will flip and shake you. And if you're not strong up here, a lot of people tend to suicide, and a lot of people tend to drugs, drinking, all of these other things. And I mean, it's not like some of us. I mean, even myself. I remember there was one question in the last interview that said, "Was I depressed?" And of course, I was. Part of the depression brought a lot of suicidal thoughts. I literally, at some point, I was battling serious suicidal thoughts, to a point where on a daily basis the only thing that I would wake up and live for is to try and survive, because it got so bad that not even a single day would go by without me thinking about, let me just end it all. I really don't have what it takes now, because it was bad. Like I said, for me, I could say I've never really experienced loss in terms of losing the loved one, and so on, in terms of death and all of that. However, the amount of loss that I've experienced throughout my career life and all of that was so bad. I mean, if you've worked hard for your things, I mean, Mina, I'm one of those people that was not lucky enough to probably sleep my way up any ladder, or everything that I had, I flipping worked my ass off. Like, I gave in 24 hours of my day. Literally, I remember sharing this story with somebody, to say, even to this day, my firstborn son, it's very difficult for him to follow structure, because we've never had that. As a single mother, we could not have structure, in a sense that my son could not be that one kid that wakes up at 6 in the morning to get ready, because we could not do that, because mom is out there fending for us to be able to put the food on the table. Because I mean, like I said, I chose the difficult route of going into business, and not knowing that on its own brings a lot of challenges. So for me, for me to really thrive, I had to work really hard, put in the work, sometimes come back home at 12 and my son is still up waiting for mommy. And how do you expect a child that slept at 12 to wake up at 6 in the morning? So those are some of the challenges that one had to go through. However, I think for me, the the interesting part is that what I would take from all the loss that I've experienced. And I think one other thing that I also wanted to say is today I would like us to take a different approach. I've explained all the things that I've gone through. I could go on and on, like I'm saying. Even after that, there was so much loss that I experienced in my life where I was like, yeah, God, bring it on. If this is what you called me to do in life, just bring it on.
Right? You like, bring it.
Yeah, I was like, it's not gonna stop. So you know what? Bring it on. So what I want us to do today is to go back to what you always say, to say what you feed grows. So I don't want us to talk about or dwell into how much I've lost. If you are interested in that, call me one on one. I'll share it with you just so that you understand that I've lost a lot. I've lost a lot. But I think it's not important. I think for me, a lot of people always battle with how do you then, like we said, the point of this whole thing is to say, how do you stay afloat? What do you do? And I think for me, that's what I would rather we focus on rather than talking about all the things that I've lost. Because hey, we can talk about it until we go blue. Chances are you never even get them back. Sometimes if you're lucky, if you're lucky, you get more even back. But in reality, a lot of people go through a lot of loss. I mean, let's talk about somebody that has lost their parents. They're not coming back. They're not coming back. However, the most important thing it's the choice that you make. I remember, I think it was during your interview or somebody during your talks, that was saying, how do I forget, how do I move on? Somebody would say, how do I move on? How do I stay positive? And I think for me, the situation is that, I think for me the answer is change and all of these things that we go through, right? Those are automatic. Like I said the other day, that it's going to happen whether you like it or not. Those are automatic. However, your response, your response or the progress that you make through all of that, it's a choice, and it really boils down to that.
Can I ask something quickly? You know me, I mean, I can't even keep quiet because when are you dropping such beautiful gems? Now, you said something before before you make a transition to telling us how you actually remained afloat. You said something. You said that there came a time whereby you had these depressive thoughts, suicidal thoughts, a bit of anxiety, obviously, from time to time. But now, what you did is you changed it. Now, what I want to find out is how long did it take? Because there's a lot of people that are into positive affirmations, people that are into meditation, people that are into yoga, people that are into spirituality. How long did it take for you to stick? Because if you wake up today feeling bad and you decide that from tomorrow onwards I'm going to feel good, obviously it's not like the change is going to happen the next day.
Yeah.
Or what made it stick to say, yeah, for sure, probably there's something that I've been taught with this journey. Because somehow when you reframe, you stop fighting, you start cooperating. But how long did it take for it to stick, or what made it stick?
It's very interesting that you asked this question. In fact, I think it was yesterday somebody asked in your life, to say, I've been meditating, but then nothing changed, but I keep going. I think somebody said something like that. Look, it takes. Remember, I said to you the other day that you've got two choices. You can take the long route and fight, right? Or you can take the shorter route and just surrender. you know, you yeah, you just have to surrender and make that decision. And I can tell you now how long it's going to take. It's up to you, really. And yeah, it's purely up to you, because like I'm saying, if you keep on fighting, they'll keep on coming back. You'll have, this toxicity, toxicity was moment after some time safela, so you'll have those episodes where it looks like it's getting better, but something is gonna come, and until you get to a point where, now, like I said, with healers, with people that are chosen, with those that are into the enlightenment journey, and all of that, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back until such time you are rooted in trying to understand and getting to understand what the purpose is. And I think for me, there is no, and I always like what you say when you're saying, the, there's no medicine that will, there's no one size fits all. For somebody else it takes forever. For somebody else it can be, with a flip of a switch. For somebody else, I could just say something and they relate and they're like, okay, just on that day they're like, there's my thing. But I think, for me, I think, sure, it's an ongoing thing. It's a lifetime thing. Just to be quite honest, it's an ongoing thing. There's no end to it. It's just that, like I'm saying, you just have to change your story. It's really a choice to say it doesn't matter. And I like what that lady said, when she said, but she keeps on going. You can meditate all you want, you can pray all you want, you can do all of these things. Sometimes these things still comes. When they say "Ka Sotho ba rata hore," oh, in fact, it's an English phrase that says, when it rains it pours. Stay
It
positive,
does.
do affirmations, and still go through a lot of these things. Look, like I'm saying, until such time that you really grasp why you are here on this earth, you are going to go through it. But once you get to that point where you are at peace with everything, right now, like I'm saying, yeah, like I'm saying to you, it doesn't mean I'm still not going through challenges. There's challenges that are coming even now, when I'm good at meditating. I'm good at saying positive things to myself, and there are still challenges that comes. But the difference is that the approach is different. My approach, or my reaction to those challenges, is different from back then, when I used to fight, when I used to be on autopilot and all of that. I remember, I think it was your wife that was asking you, on when you were sharing your story on pain, and a lot of people expect us to say, this is what happened, that, look, for me, I don't wanna, there is nothing fancy about it. There's nothing good that's gonna happen that's gonna make you feel like, yeah, I've now stepped out of it. Now I'm okay. Now I'm a better person. Now I'm good. It's an ongoing process. It's just everyday life. You just have to get to a point where you really find your rhythm, because remember, like we've been saying that this is one phase that we're going through, where there's Aries, and the moon, and the what and all of these things that are happening, this shift that is happening, whether you're conscious or you're not conscious about it. There's a shift that's going on. I mean, everybody's talking about it. Economically speaking, things are going crazy. It's there. So it's basically just that thing that you have to go within yourself. Like I always said, I always say, if there's one thing that I've picked up about these things that we go through, whether it's loss, whether it's pain, whether it's this, they're never there to really destroy you. If anything, those things are there to unleash the beast that is within you. And until you,
Whoa! You can drop the mic. Oh, okay. Let me relax. Okay, you can continue.
yeah, until you realize that, then you will always fall back into crying, always fall back into, sitting in a pain. And I remember you said it very well, very, very nicely, when you said, it's not a somebody was asking about losing their parents, and look, the reaction that happens at the time when the tragic thing happens, that you can't control. However, whether you stay in that state or you actually grow within that period that is dark. It's a choice that you make. It's a personal choice, because some people, people, if you look at, there's this interesting show that was on TV a couple of years ago. I think it's Kumbulekaya, for instance, Kumbulekaya, where you find a 60-year-old person crying to say, my dad, I'm still trying to find my dad. What difference is it going to make if you find them at 60? That tells you that this person stayed in, so they are still probably 20. 30 years of their lives has been nothing but moaning, crying, and it doesn't help. It really, it's not going to help. It's going to wear you off. I once met this one guy that said to me, um something like stress, right? It's not going to change your situation, whether you cry about something, whether you stress about it, whether all of these things that we always do to ourselves when we're going through these hardships. It's not going to change the situation. It's really not going to change the situation. When the situation is ready to change, it will change. Now the change, the it's really not about, it's not up to you, and it's not even about you sometimes. You always say that, and I'm like, I feel like I want to break my internet and
What you just did, what you just said, it hits me here because at some point we somehow gonna have to stop focusing on ourselves.
yeah. Because honestly, it's not about you. Sometimes we're not even aware that you are fighting battles that are beyond you. You're actually, sometimes some of us are fighting generational curses, right? And you are thinking it's about you. It's not about you. It's about the generation. It happened in the past generation. It's happening. It's just going to keep on happening, and hence why it's very important for people to realize things like patterns, and like I said, you will never be in a position to realize such patterns if you keep on fighting, if you keep on trying to be a good person and trying to do all of these things and only at the time when you are within yourself. Remember, we spoke about being within yourself. That is what all of these challenges are really coming to do. They are coming to get you to unleash that power that is within you, and the only way that you can be able to reach to that is be by yourself, like we said, and only then you can be able to identify certain patterns in your life to say, okay, I actually realize that this is a generational case. But otherwise, if you're listening to all the noises that are happening around you, you will never get time to realize that. And what's going to happen? It will happen to you. It will happen to your kids. It will happen, like, it will just keep on happening. So unless you get to a point where you just surrender to the process and understand that some of these things are not really about you. I always say to people that if you're going through pain, for instance, if you're going through loss, for instance, don't get stuck there. I think for me the most important thing is don't get stuck, because if you get stuck, then you'll be swamped into these things, you'll be swallowed into it, and within no time you won't be able to, like, within no time years will go by while you are still stuck in this thing. I mean, I always say, don't focus in the negative thing that is going on at the time in your life. There's always people out there that may need your help. I always say, do good, do positive. I remember you always say it as well, choose to be a good person, in the midst of whatever that you're going through. Choose to focus on something positive. Like I said, sometimes life knocks you to a point where you can't even pray, you can't even meditate anymore, you can't even do all of these things that we always say. Do that. At that time, at that time, you need to realize also, once you realize that it's not about you, then it will be easy for you to just let it go. Like I said, remember I told you the other day that I think for me, people that look at me now think that maybe life has knocked me or whatever, because I'm not that same person that I used to be at that time. But for me, I am the wealthiest person that you can think about. I am the happiest person that you can think about. I remember back in my days when I used to make shitloads of money, when I was living a very comfortable lifestyle, and I promise you, I was never as giving as I am right now. I would never even make time to go to an orphanage, to go to, like, I was never. But now, what keeps me going, what gives me the edge, unlike back then, what gave me an edge would be to close the deal, the biggest deal, or whatever the case might be. But now, what matters to me is to change somebody else's life. You know what matters for me is to change somebody else's life. Hence I'm saying, if you're going through all of these things, stop it. Don't focus on the loss, don't focus on the pain that you're going through. I mean, just snap out of it already. Go out there, find somebody that does not have food. No. Yeah, like,
Snap out of it.
I promise you. Because otherwise, if you don't do that, people get stuck in life. People don't grow. People don't, we always say grow through this grow through whatever that is happening. Don't just get stuck. There's a lot of personal development that people could do. A lot of people talk about meditation, but if you actually ask them, what is it that you do when you meditate, they don't even understand what meditation is. People meditate just for, they meditate, but in the midst of meditating, their minds are all over the place while they're thinking they're meditating. And that's, I mean, to tell you the honest truth, that is not meditating. Sometimes you could say you are meditating for 6 years, and when you sit and talk to people that really do proper meditation that will benefit you, that will benefit your body, you realize that, matter what I've been doing, it's actually not what, So, like I'm saying, there is really so much that people could do. It's just that we tend to, I don't know how to put it. We tend to put too much value into things that are not necessary, things that don't mean anything to anybody. I'll just make a typical example. The other day from our interview, I remember that day something had happened a couple of days. So I was just going through a lot of emotions and. But I told myself that, what, I'm gonna come here, give it my best, give my 100%, and after our interview, I can tell you, to see this, you won't understand. I felt so much at peace, and it was an amazing feeling. I could not even explain it, and I think, and I think for me, that's really what makes me tick these days, helping somebody else, giving out a hand. Hence, I'm saying, when you're going through whatever that you're going through, don't focus on it, because once you focus in the situation, we all know how the universe works. It's going to give you that negative thing. Yeah.
Before I forget,
Yeah.
because the thing was with you, I said when we started, or no, the likelihood is we're not even going to finish this because you're going to be dropping bombs and bombs and bombs and bombs and bombs. I wish I had my book, to write them down. But here's something that I picked up. By the way, a whole lot amount of people are showing you love. We got Petujo here. She said at some point, because she's so much of an overthinker, she can relate to what you're talking about. Zwake said something to say he's got this mantra that whatever that happens, you got to keep on moving. You got to keep it moving. But you said something which, for me, it sounds a little bit, how can I say it? It's not, I'd say, oxymoronish in this way. It took you to lose for you to give. Explain that.
Like I said, it took me to lose all of these things that I was putting so much value in them to gain myself. And what else do you need? I mean, really, I would not have, I would not have, if it wasn't for all of these losses, I would not have gained myself. Like I'm saying, right now, I'm at peace. You know what, I can't even explain it. And I wish people can really understand the joy that comes with you being at peace, and what that does, people don't realize. It will attract. I remember back then when I used to work. I mean, like I'm saying, because of the work, I lost relationships in terms of I lost my husband, my kids. I could not have time with my kids, and because I was chasing these things. I was chasing the next deal, and. But now I promise you, now, and I don't even know, I don't have the best way to explain it. Now I'll sit like this and I'll just receive a phone call and I'll get a deal without even me going anywhere, without me chasing anything. People will call and say, "Oh, Kana, when you are in training, listen, there's this thing that we need you to work on." And literally, and I think for me now I understand to say, now that I'm at a relaxed mode, now that I have literally surrendered to this thing that I don't know what it is, now the universe is yeah, because right now my major focus when I wake up every day, my question is, whose life am I going to change? Who am I going to touch and make them a better person? And because of all of that, the universe is now throwing me with all of these good and nice things. And I would not have otherwise. I would still be chasing, and I would be 40. I would be. I mean, I'm over 40 now already. I'll be 50, 60 or so, still chasing, not having enough time with family, not doing the things that really matters most. So what I always say is that a lot of people tend to, what we normally do is when we go through pain, when we go through loss and all of these things, we tend to magnify. I think if there's one thing that people do, if there's one thing that what we normally do, our normal reaction is to magnify the problem than what that, like, we make it bigger. We always do that. Hence, you find that something small can blow up to something so big within a split of a second, because I like, what is it, Petro, that said, overthinking. I'm an overthinker myself. In fact, I caught myself overthinking just a couple of days ago. I had to meet up with somebody, and the phones were off, and I was thinking a whole lot of things.
Wait. We can't pretend that you didn't say that. This is what you said.
Yeah.
You caught yourself, meaning you became aware.
Yes.
Okay, continue. Let me not.
It's a good thing that you actually picked it up and you mentioned it again. I remember I actually said it to, I think it was also Olga in our group, that said she had issues at work, and because there's a lot of change, there's changes that are happening in the organization. People are negative, and I said to her, the most important thing is to be aware. Once you are aware, then you have literally you've overcome, because remember, this is basically what we are doing. We are on the journey of awareness, and it's very important. And you actually asked me something just now to say, how did I do it, or how long did it take me, or maybe, look, here's the thing. If you are not aware, these things will keep on happening. You will keep on saying negative things to yourself, and just because you are in this journey of healing, of enlightenment, of whatever that you want to call it, it doesn't mean problems are not going to come. Problems are going to come. You will keep on losing things. People will die around you, and. However, it's just you. It takes you to be aware. Like I said, you just need to be aware, and once you then become aware, then you are able to sort of reshape the situation by then thinking positive again. Like I said to you, I caught myself and I was like, okay, I'm overthinking this situation again. And at the time, I'm thinking the worst things. This person is not picking up my phone, and now I have to drive all this way, and I was stressing myself. Now I was magnifying this thing, making it bigger than what it is. Seeing we tend to not see the problem for what it is. I remember a thing always says that Robin the
I was about to talk about him. Let me talk first. I was about to talk about him. What you're mentioning, he's got this book that it's called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. When you read the whole book,
yes,
he tells a story that sometimes we are distracted by thinking that life is about getting. And the only way to calibrate ourselves is when we start doing it the opposite way. Because if you give, your hand opens up, then something can come. That's exactly what you just explained. That's why I say it's a very high science, that. Because I mean, you don't get taught this in TV. TV tells us keep on getting the next big deal, the next relationship, the next shoe, the next life, the next money, the next pay. But now what happens normally? When you do that, you drift away from yourself. At some point, for you to find your true self is to destroy yourself. Wow, man.
Yeah, yeah. So that's basically it. Like I'm saying, just give. If you're going through a lot, find somebody that you know for sure. We drive all over the place. There's people on the street corners. There's just so many things that people are going through. Just be that light. Be that light, and the light will come to you. In the midst of the pain, in the midst of the troubles that you're going through. Because once you focus on these negative things, like I'm saying, chances are you are just going to magnify them. You're going to make them bigger than they are. Then you fall into being depressed, because then the situation is in front of you. You are faced with a situation, right? When you look at it, you see it as something so big, something that you can't do anything about it. Then you stress. Like I'm saying, you're gonna magnify it. What's gonna come out of that? It's nothing good. You are just gonna stress about it. You're gonna pick yourself, and you're gonna tell yourself that nothing is, there's nothing. I'm not a good person. I'm not enough. I'm not this. Even through the worst things. Remember, I can tell you now. When I was going through divorce, like I said, about 11 years ago, when I was going through my divorce, I was counseling people that are going through divorce. And when I tell them that, by the way, I'm also going through divorce, and they're like, are you kidding? I'm like, I promise you, I was in court a couple of days, and my divorce was extreme. It was a very messy one, because remember I said I lost quite a lot. I lost a lot. I think if I have to put value into it, I probably lost something like 5-6 million out of my divorce. At that time that I was going through all of that, I just literally made a choice to say, you know what, I'm just gonna. And then I found a group of people that, and like I'm saying, sometimes life will throw you, or spirits will throw you with all of these things, purely because it's training your muscle to be able to deal with it. Like I'm saying, when I was going through divorce, I found myself.
Well,
Yeah,
so problems that come to you. No, I have to stop you like that because there's a lot that you're saying, but now this one I have to get onto it.
yeah,
I was listening to a story yesterday. This guy says, if you want to pile up a muscle, or if you want to lose weight and you want to do it through the gym, when you go to the gym to sign up, that is only about 50% of the whole thing, because you're going to have to show up. You're going to have to take those weights. You're going to have to lift them. You're going to have to join the aerobics. So what you're saying, basically, you're saying, hey, you chose. You, how can I put it? Because you're saying such a beautiful. Let me not disturb you. Go on, go on, go on. I'm out of my wits. I'm out of my wits. I'm so excited. I mean, I'm giving the whole game away. Go on, go on. I'll let you speak.
yeah. No. It's good that you do that, because I can go on and on and on, because I can tell. My life story is so amazing. I don't know why I haven't written a book, but God knows. But yeah, like I'm saying, when I was really going through divorce, I decided, you know what, I understood that if I'm gonna sit and and sob and cry about this whole thing, it's not gonna do me any good. And I found women that were, and I'm talking about people that were older than me, right? That were going through divorce, and they felt like it's the end of the world. I remember, in fact, a couple of months ago, I met this one lady. I didn't even recognize her. I literally forgot her. And she was screaming when she saw me. I was like, oh, kind of this lady Kimang. She's like, when I always talk to you, when I talk to people, I'm like, I once met this child that changed my life. I was going through a mess of divorce and all of that. And you spoke to me, and I was never the same. And I was just happy from that day. So hence I'm saying, really don't focus on the negative thing that's going on in your life. Find something positive. They always say, I think it's find positive in any in be the one that finds good. in a bad situation. Mina, if there's one thing that I've always, I think, like I said, I've always, God has blessed me with the personality that He gave me, or the inner strength that He's given me, that I'm that person that will find positive in any bad, like, give me a bad situation right now, I'll look at it and I'll say, but you know what, if you think about it, and as a
So
result,
you're the proper alchemist. You're the alchemist. That's
yes.
what you're telling us, right?
And if you think about it, from that, I was able to develop the skill of, even today. That is why I ended up being a business coach, because for me, if you come to me with a business idea, right, you come to me just with a business idea, as you are telling me, already at the time that you're telling me, I'm thinking of doing this and that and that, already in my head, I've got a whole business plan. I've got a whole everything. Like, I'm able to just quickly map out things to say, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need, like, literally. And it's because of that thing that I literally, like I said, it's a choice, and it's a choice that I made to say, why do I want to just dwell into stressing? And like I said, it's not something that I was born with. I had to train myself. I picked it up in books that I was reading at the time that I was going through whatever that I was going through, and I had to train myself. I, I was not born with it. I just had to train myself to say, see the light in everything. See the light in everything. See the
Can I
positive.
say something?
Are we off? Are we on? Okay, I'm not sure if. Okay, I'm gonna wait and see if the network, is it my network? Is it your network? What's going on? I see Tiliso is frozen. Like, I can see. Oh. So now I'm not sure if people can still hear me, or is it just him that's frozen, or everybody is frozen. I'm also frozen. I'm not sure. Maybe let's just give it a bit of time. I see he's paused the live. Probably he'll come back. Oh, Hillary, you can hear me. Yours is fine. Oh, I can continue. Okay. Tiliso will join the train. So what was I saying? So yeah, I think for me, what helped me is that I picked it up from an early age, and like I said, I was not born with it. I I literally trained myself from the books that I was reading, and I made an effort to say, I'm going to see positive in any situation. I mean, um, it could be a bad thing, like it could be a bad thing, like you've lost a loved one, you've lost a parent. Ka Sesotho hangata ba tle ba re motho ha a hlokafetse, people will say, ah, o phomotse. I think for me, that's one of the greatest.
Hey family, let's see, are we still here? We can hear you. Continue. Let's see. If there's anybody that is here, can you please tell me, family, that we're back?
You hear me?
I can hear you clearly that day.
Yes. Yes. TikTok likes doing this, but it's okay. We're back and we're black. I wanted to say this.
Yeah.
You said something to say, at some point when challenges come to you, they come to you for you to flex your muscles. That's what I normally tell people to say. Be careful that if you're praying for love, fear or hate is going to come your way. It doesn't come your way to destroy you, but it comes your way so that you can pump up your muscle. So if you're looking for liberation, if you're looking for freedom, you're going to get the opposite. If you're praying for the light, you're going to get
Yeah, no.
the darkness. If you're praying for the rain, you're going to get wet. Okay, from there. Wow,
Here's
we're back.
here's what I want to add.
Sorry about that, family.
Yeah,
You can go ahead.
here's what I want to add on what you just said. Particularly, let's just look at if you're praying for the light, darkness will come, right? Remember, we've said this over and over, that all of these good things are you. You are the creator, you are the God, you are light, So it's just that, remember, because of life experiences, because of the noise that's going on, we are not able to unleash the light that you are. So what the darkness really does, it comes there to then get you to unleash the power, which is the light that you are. So basically, that's what it is. That's what challenges and all of these things comes to do. They come to really train your muscle, because remember, it's not like it's not there. It's there. Remember, we've said something profound to say. Oh, everybody always says it. I think it's one of the phrases that is used loosely these days, to say your mind is powerful, power of the mind, and remember, it's not that the mind is somewhere else, you must go and fetch it, and it's within you. You've got that mind. It is within you. When we started, we spoke about how like I said, my dad said, your body has the power to heal itself, and that's through your mind. So it's just that all of these things are coming to just strengthen that whole thing. I remember, if you think about, in actual fact, if you think about it, there's times where people that are sick, right? I'm talking about somebody that's literally could be in a coma sometimes. I know a lot of people see these things just on TV, but some of these things are real, in a sense that they will say, we've done anything medically possible to help this person. What is left is for them to help themselves. And then sometimes then you see that a person that's in a coma, they will sit with probably their child or whatever the case might be, and just from feeling a touch of their kids or whatever the case might be, then the mind quickly connects with that, and the person is able to wake up. That did not take, sometimes even medically people get shocked to say, wow, how did this person? It just tells you that your mind is so powerful. Remember, I shared the story, I think when we got interrupted, to say, my dad reversed his diabetic situation. He was diagnosed with diabetes a couple of years ago, and he was able to reverse it. And it's not because it's not necessarily because he's a doctor, not because he did not even take any medicine, to do that. It was purely by he did a lot of research around how to reverse chronic illnesses and all of that. And it took discipline. It took him eating right. It took him doing all the right things, exercising, being in positive spaces, and but it goes to show that really anything that you put your mind to, it is possible. And the very same thing that he's applied at the time, you can apply it when you're going through loss. You can apply it when you're going through pain. You can apply it when you're going through, to say, I choose to be a better person. I choose to be a bigger person. And then start actively making those positive changes.
Can I say something on that?
Yeah.
Can I say something quickly on that?
Yes.
What you just mentioned, it's so amazing because can you hear me?
Yes. I'm laughing at Mzwakhe.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm laughing at Mzwakhe saying my dad is a Superman. He's a Superman. That one.
Listen to what I'm saying. Yeah? A lot of people are not aware that what you just said, there's science behind it. There's this thing that is called a placebo. Placebo is your ability to heal yourself with your thoughts, meaning with your internal story. But now the opposite is also true. There's this one that they found out quite recently that is called nocebo. Nocebo is you can make yourself sick with your thoughts. That is with your story.
100%.
So what your dad, there's a huge science behind that. It's not something that he just woke up and it works, because if you change your story in here, things will not be as bad as you look at them. I mean, it's what Dr. Wayne Day like saying, when you change the way how you look at things that you look at change. Even though they don't really change, your perception, it's a selection. It's like your glasses that you walk around with. If your glasses are dirty, your perception is contaminated. But if you clean your glasses, voila, game over.
You know, I mean, I always tell people, divorce the story of limitation. You know, these limiting beliefs and limiting mindset that we have. Divorce that story. You know, marry the new story that says you are more than capable of doing just about anything if you put your mind to it. If you can just decide, take a decision today, if you're not going to do anything, if this life is not going to help you in any way, just take this one. Make that decision to say, you know what? I am more than capable of doing whatever it takes. I am the creator. I am the God. I've got all the power within me to solve whatever situation, move past whatever situation that you're in, recreate, you know, what I mean, even with that I know a lot of people now are into meditation, what do you call these things? Positive, what do you call them? English has just literally gone to England. you know, do you know all of these positive things, positive mindset and all of that, those things are, they've always been within you. It's just that because we tend to focus on, yes, positive affirmation, thank you. It's English, guys. you know all of those things, they are within you. It's things that you have. It's not something that is out there. It's not something that somebody else has the power to do for you or whatever. Everything that you need is absolutely within. You know, when they say everything, it's a literal meaning of people that are reading palms. They'll tell you that your life is literally in your hands, and that's literally what it is. That is literally what it is. You've got the power to change everything. It's just that we tend to focus on the noise that is happening around us, focus on the negative energies that is going on, that are consuming us. I don't know if Tsibiso has frozen. Am I frozen also? I don't know. I don't know, guys. Please talk to me and tell me if you can still hear me, because I'm not sure what's going on now. Because I see Tsiso is literally giving us a nice pose. Scarcity mindset is a problem. I can hear you. Okay, great stuff. It is Mzaki. You are right. It's a problem. It's a problem. And you know, people are saying, you know, poverty is, it's a mindset. You know, it's really a mindset.
Hey, network is busy with us. TikTok and Alamona. Sefapano. What's it? Ntefeng. Hey, yeah. You got no idea what you just did, eh? You got no idea. Like Mzwaki say, TikTok and Alamona Siras. So this is what we're gonna do, right? I don't necessarily now have to. There's not much to say. I mean, from what she just said, she said a whole lot, mouthful. But while we wait, I'm waiting for it to calibrate until somebody tells me that the signal is fine. She keeps on hammering on one thing. I don't know whether you heard her. Choice. That's all. Choice. She'll go there, but she'll come back to choice, because somehow you have to choose. You can choose to be in your pity party. You probably just lost your job. You probably just went through the divorce. You probably just lost a whole lot. But now, do you choose to host a pity party forever? Or do you choose to stop the pity party for you to be able to go on? All is in your mind, and the mind is all. The story that you tell yourself reflects what is happening on the inside. If you think that the life is all about dog eat dog, no wonder you're going to be meeting a whole lot amount of dogs that want to eat you. But, Ntefeng, this is what you can do. Did you send me the invite already? What you can do is you can just give us your final. It's not like you're going to finish up with this. Just give us a bit of parting remarks. And, you know, let me put you on. Let me put you on. I can't. I mean, I want you to do the talking. It's so great that we keep on spewing and spewing and spewing. I mean, there's a lot of people that have showed you so much love here. Let me see. Carol, she said that she needs to have a session with you. You're doing a whole lot amount of things. Hillary as well, she says, so glad to have found my tribe. This is a kind of life you want to witness, full of life. All right, let me see. Tell me, Ntefeng, if you hear. Yeah.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Over to you. Let me get to the side.
Oh, okay. I think in closing, you are right, Tidi. So I think that's basically when I was thinking of what I wanted to share today. Like I said, I wanted to take a different approach to say, let's not magnify the problems that we're going through. Let's not, let's not give them the glory, let's not feed them more. And let me not sit here and tell you, yo, guys, 1990 mamang, I lost this. 1990 mamang, I lost. I mean, it's not gonna take us anywhere. Let's rather change the narrative to say, let's do good. Let's talk about the things that you can practically do. I had somebody asking me what type of. I saw somebody asking what type of books do I read. I've never read. I'm not big in the novels and all of that. I read positive books that has to do with anything positive. Like I just go through that. I listen to positive podcasts even before podcasts were there. Now listen to even preachings. I listen to different preachings, and now I'm one of those people, and I've always been like that. I mean, I'm a staunch Christian. Who has an open mind, who's very open-minded about things, and in the journey of this healing thing, in the journey of discovering myself and so on. So I do a lot of self-development. I think if for lack of a better word, I can call it that. Self-development in a sense that be listen to positive incantations. I think it says them very interesting. For me, it's not even about affirmations. I think I changed the way these affirmations happen, because sometimes you can say, there's a nice one that I always sing on TikTok: money comes to me easy, money flows to me easy, I think for me it's believing in anything, believe. All of these things starts with you. If you believe that you can attract positive things, if you believe that despite of the situation that you are in, if you believe that you can, you can attract positive energies. I was telling Sidiso the other day that how I came across this life itself, and the interesting part is that when we always say we are energies, life itself, it's energy. And what you put your energy into, you'll attract. You will find that once you start focusing on being positive, when you open the internet, when you open anything, you will be flooded with positive things. I always say internet is another world of its own. You can get just about anything. I mean, these days you can be able to kakamule engine wake up just from a YouTube video. So
You find it on the internet.
yes. So I think for me, you're right when you're saying everything that I'm saying today is going to always go back to make that choice. And we are not. It's not going to be. It's not going to take the whole world to change. It takes you, and you start with you making a decision to say, fuck this life that I've been living. Fuck this sadness. To hell with the pain, to just when we say, I remember the first question that you asked me when we got cut off in our previous interview. You said to me, I spoke about surrendering, and that's all it takes. If you look at the definition of in actual fact, I had opened it on my phone. If you look at the definition of surrendering in just on the internet, it says giving up. Surrendering, it says giving up or handing over. So just give it up, let it go, and it all starts with a choice. You choose to say, I've been in this back and forth forever. Now I choose something different. You just have to
I hand
let
it over.
Yes. Somebody was asking the other day to say, how do you let go? And you just you make a decision. I was at some point, I'll be listening to your lives and reading the comments. I'll be like, I wish I could give that answer. Look, at the end of the day, it boils down to you. You just have to make that decision to say, you know what? I am getting this done. That's all it takes. It doesn't, it's not gonna take, it doesn't, it's not any science or it's nothing fancy. It's just basically boils down to a decision to say, you know what, right now I'm choosing positive. And once you do that, you will be surprised. Good things will come. Because once you decide to say, I've been going through, you could be going through, people, like I'm saying, people, we tend to magnify whatever that we're going through. When you speak about your pain, I think we tend to, I don't know, as people, we tend to I think we marry our pain, we marry our loss, we tend to make it so special to say, as if you're the only person going through whatever that you're going through. If you talk to a person telling you, I'm going through this, people are so passionate about negative things that are happening in their lives. They are so passionate. A person would, oh, rather this person is this thing. You can't even separate yourself from your pain. That's how much you love it.
Oh, you look just like your pain.
So I think in closing, or my last words would be, during your loss, accept it. First of all, accept it. Make that choice to say, I am snapping out of it. Be within yourself, because that's where you're going to find most of the answers. Just be within yourself, be with yourself, do whatever it takes. Be it meditate, be by yourself, just give yourself time to, forgive yourself, do all of these nice things that everybody knows you need to heal yourself. Work on yourself. There's so much. I was saying to my son the other day, if people could realize, unpacking just that simple concept of self-development, there is so much. If you have to work on yourself, I'm telling you, 24 hours will not be enough. You
Can I ask
will
you
not.
before you get on there, because I know I said it's the last one, but I want to ask this because a lot of people, we tend to have a bit of an issue with this. Just want to ask it quickly.
Yeah.
There are days that you feel that it's like you've been hit with a bus in the face. Some of the days where you wake up, it's like you got a stack of bricks on you. Yesterday, when you slept, you were bouncing on top of the world. You wanted to tell everybody about good stuff. But now the next day you wake up, you under the cloud, you under the weather. What do you do? Some of the few things that you can tell, because I know a lot of people listen to music. A lot of people, I saw you knitting. You were knitting, that's impressive. For me, I know for sure, especially when I'm having it under the water, I doodle a lot.
Doodling. I love doodling. Yesterday when you showed it, I was like,
So what are some of the few practical things that you can tell the people to say? Because one of the things that we don't understand is if you're going through or under the weather, it's not going to last. Nothing is permanent. Your task is to remain tuned in, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, whether you lost, whether you won. Middle way, like the Buddhists will say, the middle passage. What are some of the things that you do?
look, I think we tend to be too hard on ourselves. I think that's one thing that I've realized about me, because like I said, remember, Mina, I really took time to look back. I took time. I tried to even jot down what was happening in my life when I was going through all of these things, and I actually realized that sometimes we tend to be too hard on ourselves. I remember there was one lady that said on our group that she woke up feeling somehow and I think it was Crystal that said something so easy, profound and easy. She said, take a bath. just take it easy, let it go. Like you just said now, it's not forever. Like I said, it's not there to kill you, it's not there to destroy you, and you need to realize it yourself. Remember, Tsidiso is not there when you're going through whatever that you're going. For heaven's sake, you can only find him at 2, and when he's there, only at 2 weekdays. And when he's there, sometimes he's talking neuroscience, he's talking about, he's not even talking about what you want to hear or whatever that you're going through at the time. So you need to understand that it's not there to destroy you. Take it easy, just relax, give yourself love, show yourself love, and tell yourself that I've done enough. Like I said to Olga the other day when she said it in the group. I said the fact that you realize that you are amongst a lot of negative people and you want to do good, that on its own, it's enough. You might not do anything at the time. You might even be participating in the negative talks and all of that. But the fact that you are aware that, whatever that I'm going through, that I'm doing right now, it's not a good thing. The fact that you are aware, that on its own, it's enough. Be gentle with yourself. Just take it easy. Take a walk. Like I said, hence I said this whole self-development, it's massive. If you go through and research self-development, there is so big, there is so much that you can find out of that. Like I said, Mina, I picked up a lot of skills, simple skills. You saw that I was knitting. I knit, and I remember I used to battle with a lot with not being able to finish a lot of things. Because I tend to do, when you're busy with work and all of that, you tend to do. So sometimes I don't get to finish certain things. Yes, it will be 90% done. When somebody looks at it, they'll be thinking, oh wow, it's great. But for me, I'll be like, I didn't finish it. And I found that knitting gives me that. It's a therapeutic thing for me, because I'll knit, and I like knitting small little things, a small jacket for a little baby or whatever the case may be. Completing it gives me so much joy. So, so find those things that would make you easy on yourself. Tell your kids that you love them. Sometimes we don't do that. Go to your something as small as that, and just do it with intention. Be intentional about it, because then that's when you're going to get the peace back. Like I said, you could be going through a lot. You could be going through divorce. You could be going through find something stupid. It's all saying "Uphe motoho," and take it and go find somebody in the streets and give it to them. Sit there with them, have a chat with them. Whatever that you could be going through sometimes could heal somebody else.
And you don't even have to go to the store to get these. These are small things. It's an act of kindness. It gives you the light as well.
Yeah, you don't need money. Like I'm saying to you, the other day when I was here I was not doing anything. I was just sharing my story. The other day the first day I was here, we didn't even talk much. We were talking about all the losses that I experienced. But just from the love that I was getting from here, just seeing, I shared with Chidi, so the one guy DM'd me, and he said, wow, I was so impressed. Just seeing that gave me so much peace. It gave me so much joy. And I remember it lasted for a couple of days. And the one thing about me is I'm very present. I'm very aware. Even with small things, small emotions that I'm feeling in a day. I can tell you, I know exactly that on this day, my day was consumed by a lot of laughter, by a lot of this and that. So because I'm that aware, I'm able to celebrate even small things. Even little things, they'll make me happy, and you'll be surprised. Just an act, a great act that you've done, or an act of goodness, of kindness that you've done, it can last you 4 or 5 days. Without you realizing, 5 days you'll be the happiest person, just because you did one thing that is good. So what more if you intentionally do it on a daily basis? You tell yourself that today, what is the one thing that I'm going to do that's good? You come here on the lives, you see I don't know if you are frozen or I'm frozen or it's us. Or I was about to say, a simple thing. You come onto Tidiso's life, you see somebody commenting something negative, saying, "Hey, I'm dealing with this and that." DM them. In the group, you see somebody saying something bad that has happened to them. Call them and say, "Are you okay?" It doesn't have to be big.
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be something big. You start small. You start small, and that's all it takes. We all know that if you look at a huge mansion that is built, if you think about it, the first thing that was put there, it was a small brick, one small brick, and then if you put them together, they then become this nice huge mansion. The same goes to
With
the
my
same
mic.
goes Yes, the same goes to you. Do just one thing, just one thing. It doesn't have to, and like I'm saying, we tend to take things for granted. Something small to you, to somebody else might be something big. So, yeah, be good to yourself, man. Just be good to yourself and trust yourself. And I think start believing this thing that we always say, that you've got the power within you to do everything that you want to do, whether it be heal yourself, whether it be change your situation, change your circumstance. You've got the power within yourself, and it's gonna take you. That much I can tell you. It's not gonna take somebody else. It's going to take you. So yeah, I think.
What can I say? What can I say? I mean, as usual, you come here, you break it. You kicking the dust out. Ntefeng, I'm sure that the people that are on a platform are as grateful as I am. As usual, when you show up, you come and show off. So thank you very much. I wish we could go for longer, but because of the glitches and the time as well, I normally give people 30 minutes. Ntefeng takes the hour and a half.
Oh, I am
So
a special kid.
I guess what we're gonna need to do is the 1st of July, the whole lot amount of stories gonna have to be shared, which is something that we're gonna be having. But I'm gonna be sharing some details about it in a WhatsApp group. But not to rain on your parade. There's a lot of things that we picked up. For me, what I picked up is if you give somebody love, you actually giving yourself love.
Yeah.
If you're caring for somebody else, you're actually caring for yourself. One of the things that I picked up, there's a lot. One of the things that I picked up as well is take it easy, man. Take it easy, chill. Whatever that comes to you doesn't necessarily mean that it's the end of the world. For the people that have sent up the comments, I saw that Mzwaki asked something about the affirmations that you said. He says that, do these things, affirmations, things are challenging, do they really, really work? I wish we had time to answer that because they do and they don't. It's either. But let me just say something a little bit about it.
Let
Oh,
me
you can go.
yeah, let me tell you something about those affirmations. They will work. Like I said, they will work if you believe it. They do work if you believe it. And
Reading my mind now, miss.
say that again.
I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that.
Yeah, if you believe it, it does. And you know what? I'll tell you one thing. You know what's with these affirmations? I don't like affirmations. I'd rather do incantations. Incantations, it's when you say it with. I think Thingy always says it. Robin, he always says it, to say, don't say money comes to me easy, money comes to me what. Say it like you believe it, say it like you mean it. If it means you shout, if it means you jump out of your seat when you say it, then that's when you'll see the difference. And again, like we said, when you go deeper into these things, if you are interested in them, if you want to see if they work or not, do a little bit of research on them. Check what is it, what is an affirmation, how does it work. And when you do that, you will pick up a lot of other things that are connected to it, to say, if you want it to work, this is what you must do. The thing is that, again, with us, we like microwave things. And then you expect it to work. If you do it long enough and you start believing it, now I always say, I remember just the other day, my niece was here and she was helping me braid my hair. And she said, Mommy, I can't do it because they call me Mommy. She's like, Mommy, I can't do it. I'm like, no, 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 you can't do that. Nahe, my son knows. My son knows up to this day. In my house, there is no I can't. You know, you say, because your mind does not have, does not know the difference between what's real and what's not real. It really relies on what you are saying. So your mind, so the reason it doesn't work is because when you don't believe it, as you say it, at the back of your head, there's something that says, these things don't work, and it's not gonna work, you know. So that's why it won't work. But if you really believe it and you say it with serious, you know, you say it with energy, you give it your everything, and you totally wholeheartedly believe it. Trust me, it will work. Trust me, it will work. And
Now I get the point
yeah.
why last time our session could not be broadcast. I was reading something this morning. They were talking about how much our bodies, in as much as we energetical beings, our bodies are like a tuning fork. Our bodies have the algorithm as well.
Yeah.
So now, if you're always sending out beautiful energies, you're going to get beautiful energies back. But for the beautiful energies to come back to you, you obviously all the time have to purify yourself. They call it
Yes.
the law of resonance.
Yeah.
So if you're resonating on beautiful things, sooner or later, beautiful things are going to come to your ass. But if you resonate into bad things, even if you're doing it unconsciously, bad things are going to come in,
Yeah.
rain down your house.
Yeah. So it's purely within yourself. Like I said, your mind does not know the difference between. That's what these people say. They'll tell you straight that your mind does not know the difference between the reality and what's not real. So if you say it over and over, your mind is going to start thinking that it's real, and you're going to manifest it in real life.
Ntefeng, I don't know what to say, but the people have shown some love. We're not going to finish about it, but anything that you want to
Yeah, if people want to hear more of our stories and all of that, they must join us, guys. Please get the ones that July. Please get the ones that July. We are together. If you want a one-on-one with me, one-on-one session with me, 1st of July, we're there.
in
Yeah,
case you guys are wondering what is it that she's talking about, on the 1st of July, we're having the second retreat. We had the first one in March, Kokwakwa. It was all about energy liberation. We're having the other one now. The 1st of July is going to be in Paris. Just here. We're busy finalizing up the logistics. If you're wondering what is it that we do, go check out the video. It's right here on TikTok. And when we go there, we obviously not going to be going there with the labs and whatever. We're going there with the mind, because all is mind and mind is all. But in case you're in a WhatsApp group, we're going to be sharing up the details. The moderator is busy finalizing the whole thing. We're going to send information in a group whereby registrations and stuff. We're looking into taking 20 people. The last time we worked with 10. So this time we're looking into taking 20 people, because, I mean, there's a lot that we're going to need to share. There's a lot of liberation. There's a lot of cleanup that we're going to have to do on an energetical level. I heard that a lot of people are talking about the chakras, but what you don't understand is the chakras are the day-to-day things that you do. Like right now, she's saying she chooses. She wires herself all the time. You have to be present. You have to be aware. You have to take exercises. You have to relax. You have to stop fighting. As you do that, you're calibrating your chakras. The Kundalini that you guys have been talking about, it's all about on your day-to-day things that you do. It's not something mystical that you're going to find in India. You're going to find it. It's in you. It's in Buddha. It's in Joe Dispenza. It's in Greg Braden. It's in Ntefeng. It's in Lerato. It's in Mzwake. It's in who? Everybody that you meet. All that you need to do is know yourself.
guys, for the platform and for the people that have shown me love. I love you so much. If I could, I would hug every one of you.
Can I answer Charlene? Charlene, it depends. I don't know, because you're asking about the age limit. I'm not quite sure. You're looking into somebody who's how old? But I don't think there's really, because, I mean, obviously the children is going to be a bit of an issue. But if somebody that can be able to take of themselves, you can bring them along, because the energy is energy. It doesn't matter when you're young or you're old. But if you want to get more details about it, my numbers are right here on the bio. Send me the details so that I can pass your details to the moderator, Lerato. She's probably here on the platform, my wife. She can be able to explain that further. We're finalizing up the prices and the resources and the bookings and the exercises. There's a lot of things that's going to happen on the 1st of July. So let me know so that we can take it further. But until then, Ntefeng, people say they love you. Petro says she loves you. Charlene as well. She loves you. We as well. We love you. Bye, everybody. Oh, man. Just amazing. I don't even want to log off, but let me. Let me log off. No, I want to log off. People are busy doing whatever. Let me finalize it. Let me do this quickly before I do that. Petrucho, thank you very much.
Carol, I'll pass your message. I see that you say that you want to get in a link or to talk to her. It's fine. You can do that. You can obviously have to go through me so that I can link you up. Please don't stop. Charlene, what must I say? So what's going to happen is, just quickly, for anybody else that wants to know more about the story, this is a part 2. We did the part 1 is on YouTube. You can find her there. If you want to meet her in person, we're probably going to be meeting on the 1st of July. It's going to be fireworks. I know it's cold. I know it's winter. You know, a lot of people will be saying, no, for sure. I mean, like you, Charlene, the last retreat that we had 2 people that drove all the way from Cape Town. They wanted to fly, but they couldn't find the flight. So what they did, they drove all the way. And we were in Kwaku. It was just amazing. So, you know, I don't mind going through. It was just amazing. It's okay, Carol. It's not a problem. I can also pass you the details. It's not an issue exactly. You are the connect. Imagine. So if you interested in oh yeah, she's in a WhatsApp group. And for the people that are in a WhatsApp group, if maybe perhaps there's something that you want to ask, if you feel you can't ask it on a platform, please be mindful that my numbers are there. Yesterday I started formalizing this thing of one-on-one because a whole lot amount of people have been calling me sporadically. So I thought to myself, there are no gates when it comes to talking to either one of the people that are in a group, so long as we do it respectfully with the whole thing of growing. You know, anybody can do that because we are assisting each other. The candle never loses the light by lighting the other one. With you as well, now that you know that life is about healing, go tell the others. Life is about loving, go love others. Life is about forgiving, go forgive others. Let's keep this thing perpetually going because we can change the world one thought at a time, one person at a time, one thought at a time, one person at a time. And if you're going through the dark period, well, it's part of it, but you don't have to stop. Keep it moving. If you're going through a nice period, well, it's not time to stop. Keep it moving. Whatever that you're going through, never get stuck. Be like water, my friend. Like Bruce Lee says, the power is in the fluidity. The power is in the fluidity. Keep it going. Keep it going. So I don't want to waste. What Ntefeng has just shared is amazing. We're going to be uploading it on YouTube. For the people that didn't check it, the people that didn't have an access to the last one, you can go check her story on YouTube. How do you find the YouTube? You follow me, that is if you haven't already. Then you go to my bio. There'll be a number there. Then there'll be a link. You click that link, it will send you to my YouTube channel. If you're there, you can subscribe or you can do whatever. You can comment. You can also engage in there. I know that Ntefeng answers a lot of comments, particularly on her story. It's only moderator who has not answered some few questions. So if you want to engage with us, if you want to be part of the WhatsApp group, my numbers are right here on the platform. For the people that have shown the love, the people that have liked it, the people that have commented, the people that have asked questions, the people that have gifted, you guys are stars. Until we meet, you brought a lot of my history. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Carol. You did too. Goodbye.